Hello, it's us.
Hello, it's us.
And we're in it for the long haul again.
Oh, yeah.
Gabriel loves his 3-hour videos.
We're looking through the eye of a pig. Yahtzee has a tequila sunrise. We're in a weirdly Cypress Hill themed Let's Play today.
Well, I had some tequila left over, and
Hey.
some orange juice, and some grenadine. I thought, the stars have aligned today.
In pursuit of the Death Angel.
So, tell us about this game we're playing, because you have a bit of an advantage on me for once, because I haven't really played Police Quest much.
Not many people have, and because I never played King's Quest really growing up. Like, I kind of backseat played him a bit with my cousin, which is how I got through a lot of sort of the early adventure games, because we didn't have a PC that would run them. But my aunt gave me, like, the discs, like the old fucking, 3 1/4s for the VGA Police Quest one, which is this one.
Yes, this is the remake of the original AGI version.
Which...
Where we're a member of the Mullet Squad.
Oh my god!
But
The mullet assassin.
cunningly, that mullet turned into a skull to disguise himself when he saw we were looking at him.
That's Mullet's natural defense. It's just to turn into a terrifying skeleton man and bone jangle away.
So I've played the first Police Quest, the AGI version, but I don't think I ever finished it. There are sort of... I hesitate to use the word instructional. A sort of extremely realistic depiction of police work. Would that be fair to say?
I'd go maybe extremely realistic by kind of an early 90s police procedural. So we're not like hunting down demons. There's not like solve this problem with a rubber duck. But I'd not call it what you like, sort of dead on real. Like, there is definitely sort of like TV shit to this.
Right. Well, that TV shit can go a lot of ways, can't it? I mean, TV shit encompasses Baywatch Nights.
Baywatch Nights.
And Quantum Leap.
Masterpieces of TV sci-fi.
Man, you're a slow reader.
I didn't realize I had to push enter. So
okay.
I like, encroachment of a few undesirable elements. Blacks.
Blah, blah, blah. Here's some backstory on this city we're in. Doesn't matter. Might as well have just been New York.
The city of Lytton. Well, it's small towny, and one of the kind of running themes throughout the game is, oh, what's happening to our small town?
Oh, okay.
It's in the grip of drugs and vice.
So it can be Durham, North Carolina or something. I know it's California, isn't it?
What police procedural is that you're talking about?
What?
Which shows that a reference to? Like, what was said in Durham?
That was just the first smaller city I could think of.
Oh.
Because it's one where the Escapist's based.
Ah, okay. I thought it might have been a reference to an actual show that was set there. What's your favorite police procedural?
Does Columbo count?
Fuck it, today it does.
Hey, did you try to fondle a man?
Yeah, I kind of enjoy this game because there's a lot of...
You got a muffin top.
Yeah.
You're a fat boy.
There's a lot of kind of default, like, that doesn't do anything responses to shit.
Well, yes.
But,
it is technically an adventure game.
Yeah, there are a few weirdly specific ones, which, like, there's one a little later on you get to see that is kind of odd, and I think presents kind of a running under-theme to the game of emotional withdrawal and probably borderline autism.
It's a curious isometric perspective we're adopting here.
Yeah, and it does this thing where the boundaries of the box are also other locations, but it doesn't telegraph that in any way, and not all of it is like a way of clicking through it, so...
This says to me, we couldn't be bothered drawing an entire screen-filling background for this one room.
Yeah.
So let's border it with the exterior, and pretend that was some kind of thing they're doing.
Hello, Lieutenant.
Oh, it's Timothy Dalton. What's he doing here?
Yeah, reminding me not to fiddle with his stuff. Yeah, so I'll poke around.
Well, don't just stand there staring at them either. Right, catch you later.
Walk in, stare at his drawers, stare a little bit longer, leave.
No, that's a model employee, that is. No questions, just straight to it.
Direct to business.
Crime time? But surely it's past crime time.
It's a quarter to justice.
Surely it's moving up towards Miller time now. Or possibly father time.
So this is just me kind of poking about at the beginning. I was having this, like, argument with myself about whether or not I should try and get through it, like, on brain alone.
You didn't know what you're supposed to be doing, right?
No. There's a lot of early 90s avalanche of hair women in this.
That woman's head was like the size of an orange. It was like the Goombas from Super Mario Brothers, the movie.
The early 90s were a strange time, man. Strange fucking time. And this is me like, okay, click, click. Where's the invisible door?
So, do we know anything about the plot at this point?
No. And I think, if memory serves, this one came with a big booklet.
I know this is the VGA remake of the original AGI. Sierra went through a phase of remaking all their really old, shitty-looking AGI adventure games. They remade Space Quest 1, King's Quest 1. They remade King's Quest 1 in SCI before they came up with VGA. That was jumping the gun a bit.
So now there's just like two kind of awful King's Quests.
Actually, they didn't end up remaking King's Quest 1 in VGA, although some fans did. And were Sierra grateful? Were they bollocks?
Really?
Well, they weren't over the moon about it.
Huh. I thought they'd have been at least moderately supportive of that kind of shenanigans.
Well, you know what people are like. And just when you thought you'd had enough isometric rooms with blank grey doors...
Oh, yeah,
here's some more!
You can't get enough. So, like, cause I had the third one, like, box and all, and it had, like, a large booklet with it that sort of explained, okay, here's the basics, here's stuff you need to keep in mind, and it sort of gave you a rundown, because the problems in this are, like, quite logical, like, there's no...
Yeah, like, the main characteristic of Police Quest was it was from this whole era of PC gaming, when adventure gaming was new and interesting and exciting, and Sierra was, you know, exploring their responsibility to explore the possibilities of the medium. So they just made a weirdly strict game about following police procedure to teach everyone about how great it is to be in the police. And they actually got a real policeman to consult on it.
Whoop, whoop, that's the sound of the police. Yeah, here's the little, piracy protection.
Oh, I see.
Doodad.
Yeah, we had a lot of that in Digital Larry 3, didn't we?
Yeah. No, I think this is the only one. Or this and the, I think the, See, this is why I sneeze into the microphone, Yahtzees, so then I don't sneeze on you like you just did there.
Ah, you love it. Well,
gonna wash that man right out of my hair.
Well, the other... you are such a dumpy man.
Yeah, I'm a little potato cop.
You're a little
gonna
sweaty.
take my hip still, man, who cares?
You're a tubby little spud. You're Matt Parkman from Heroes.
You have to shower so many times in this game. You don't really do an awful lot either. Like, I reckon you can wing it on just some antiperspirant.
We talk about copy protection, and your locker combination is the overt copy protection. Oh, they changed the walking sprite to keep in with your outfit. Nice. Yeah. I mean, the locker combination would be the overt copy protection, but the rest of it was having to read all the manuals to find out what the police procedure rules are for everything you do.
That's because, I try to walk away. No, and that's the thing, the game will not let you leave, really, if you haven't got all the stuff right. A lot of the time. Like, sometimes there's a few little dead ends that it gives you, but very rarely.
See, that wasn't the case in AGI version, from what I recall. You could just walk out in your towel and embarrass yourself to death. Literally, that would be game over. Yeah, and it always has, like, the death scene for game over for some reason, even though it's just like, you've been demoted. You're dead now. You just went home and shot yourself with your service revolver. Just slashed your wrists in the bath with the edge of your badge. No more procedure where you're going, Sonny. Oh, you got, you know what you got? You got that cop saunter where they've just pulled you over and they're walking over to your window to ask if you have registration. It's that walk. It's a utility belt wrapped around a pudding gut. Yeah, well, what have we here? That's what the walk is. Them not really being able... Okay, here's a fun little, you know, me reading the newspaper, but then a glitch happens, and this glitch is kind of important because it sort of came up quite late into the record. Fortunately, every thriving city has its parasites. Blacks. Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow? That was the vibe I got from that. I keep the sweat of my brow in a little vial. Yeah. I keep it under lock and key, where the man can't get at it.
Government can't take my sweat.
Oh, someone...
Replace it. Stealing my
Someone's 5-year-old daughter came through here and tore a page out.
bodily fluids.
Now, we're Sonny Bonds, aren't we?
Yeah.
Spelled embarrassed wrong. See, it's a shame. That's like a missed opportunity, that is. I mean, you wanted to get a career in law enforcement, but you didn't become a bail bondsman.
And then this happened after I clicked on the thing. Error! I don't need to do it to finish the game. That's fantastic. Hey, Artsy, I don't need to break the game in order to finish it.
We weren't expecting you to moonwalk. What was that all about?
I know. So this time it's like, okay, I just gotta run to the pigeonhole first.
Yeah. Before you get sucked across the room by a passing wormhole or something.
Moonwalk back to my chair.
You always look forward to chatting to Steve. He's not picked up on any of your signals, has he, Sonny?
Chatting to Steve is not fun. Steve's depressing.
Sonny Bonds. He should have been a very cheerful bail bondsman.
Sonny.
It's like William Wordsworth. Did William Wordsworth study anything other than poetry? Because it was a waste of time if he did. They've all got the saunter.
Yeah, literally everyone in the game has the same weird pudding walk.
Lazy assholes, copy-pasting bodies and switching heads. No black people, I noticed.
You'll continue to notice that.
Oh, I think this one might be Hispanic. He's a little bit brown.
No, I think he's like...
Wait, well...
I think he's a programmer.
Oh, right. So we didn't do anything I wouldn't do. I spent most of the weekend pulling the chain on a big toilet I happened to be sitting on.
It's in my lounge room. I just sit on it all the time. Oh, that looks like if Garfield were a person to me. Like, it's just... His face just
I can't decide if his glasses or his eyes are lopsided.
It's both.
Pull chain again. Oh, this is serious. This was worth 3 pull chains.
Yeah. Damn teens.
And, now he's doing the shake shake. This is like playing Dance Central or something. Do the shake shake.
Come on.
The pull chain.
Yeah.
Do the swim. Do the swim.
Ha ha ha.
I like how his bottom row of teeth just remains perfectly still. That shouldn't be possible.
No, he's like a weird sort of new human where the upper part of his jaw is hinged. The rest is just fused.
Kids, try talking without moving your bottom row of teeth. It's surprisingly hard.
It's kind of like a Muppet. God, that looks weird. Baby bird feeding.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a baby animal trying to feed off something.
Feed me, sky nipple.
Oh, look at you, cock of the walk. Didn't even have to saunter out with everyone else. You're so good at the saunter, you don't have to prove anything.
I have to wait till everyone else leaves so they don't see the direction.
Wait till the saunter steeplechase is finished, and then just leave in your own sweet time, like those infuriating people who stay sitting on aeroplanes until everyone else has gone out.
The Saunter Olympics.
Mm.
Now I fill out an application.
I don't have to catch a connection. Perhaps I'll just read the in-flight magazine again. Modders, if you need a sprite of Sonny Bonds bending over because you want to animate him being buggered up the arse, there it was.
They already know. They already know.
This is one thing I do remember. If you don't check every tyre before you drive off, then one of the tyres proves to be faulty. But if you do check them, they're all fine.
That doesn't happen in this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of the worst bits of the fucking early bullshit one are...
Because in AGI, that was like quantum tires, that was. Oh my god, this is the most hideously designed interface of anything ever.
Oh lordy, you have no idea. Like, it's relatively simple, but...
You drive around the town and stuff.
Well, I mean, in and of itself, that's not too much of a pain in the ass, except A, there's no button to chuck a Yui, which is kind of a cunt. Because
to do a 180-degree turn, you should say, for the benefit of our international audiences. A 3-point turn, I should say.
So there's no button for that. And every now and then, and you'll see it later, like you click the left and you want to, you know, go left. And you can click that at any time and it'll just take the next left. Sometimes I'll click it and then I'll be sort of looking at the FAQ or doing some other things and it'll have just reverted back to straight and drive past the turn I'm trying to take, so I wind up having to do these fucking loops of the block.
Gotta keep your hand on the steering wheel and just go back to 12.
Well, it does it seemingly at random. I couldn't work out what the fucking variable was.
Are you taking driving lessons?
Well, I didn't know. I couldn't remember how. And I remember the driving in this one is quite different to the driving in 3. So I think the driving in 3 was done with the keypad.
Well, I noticed Sonny Bonds isn't doing his 10 and 2.
No, he's not even in the car. He's just a
he's just riding on the roof,
consciousness.
Riding on the roof in an armchair like Mr. Bean.
Fucking ah!
Well, for God's sake. I thought you said there was a huge manual for this.
Yeah, but that was all like numbers of sort of offenses and shit like that.
And now, like a proper citizen, we're going to crawl along the highway at 5 miles an hour. Because we're waiting for a prostitute.
Hey, lady.
Wait, what was the park called before it was called Birds Park? While the caretaker was maintaining it. I found a plot hole!
Not yet, Bert's Park.
Oh, I hadn't read the rest of the books. The park was originally called Lytton City Park. That'll teach me.
It's like the second sentence.
I was never any
There's
good
actually there's one really good fucking joke about Bert later on when you're in the park.
I was never any good at comprehension tests.
Made me giggle.
Have you finished reading this, you slow reader, you?
I probably got up to do something. There's me going at 5 miles per hour.
Motorists are advised to be cautious of the giant eye that is hanging over at one of the intersections.
While it means nobody harm, we do recommend you don't look at it.
We don't specifically know its intentions, but we do know that it is not of this earth.
It is.
The less said about the hand, the better.
And
or the giant head of a policeman. With
left is always left, so when you're sort of traveling south, the directions are kind of reversed, which tripped me up a couple of times.
Why bother drawing the whole dashboard and then also putting controls for turning there and the pedals and stuff? Why not have us just click on the steering wheel?
To be super helpful.
And what's with us astrally projecting and viewing the top of our car over there? Is that helping at all? What's going to appear there that we're going to need to see that we can't see up there?
Yeah, I really... Because there's really only about 2 times in the whole game, well, probably 3 in the whole game where something actually happens, where the little police car that you can see is.
I think I'm seeing why this is a 3-hour video now. Are you just expecting us to fill all of this? Man, damn, I made the curb crawling joke. No, I've got nothing now.
No, see, here's the thing. In order for... Like, you can't just go to something. You have to wait until there's a call. So you just have to drive around until something...
I remember that from the AGI version, yes.
Yeah, which...
I think I broke it because I would drive around for ages and nothing happened. I don't know if I was supposed to, like, set off a trigger somewhere.
Well, that's the other thing, too. Sometimes you have to drive sort of in the direction of a specific place, but it doesn't tell you sort of when and where, you know, these specific ones are meant to be happening, so...
Right. Well, at least you have a mouse interface and can...
Yeah.
Look on things.
Oh lordy, I do not want to play the mouse
text parser like the last one was.
No, as it is, this game has a few chunks that I had to play over and over and over again, which is fucking weird because you have to click on a thing at a really specific time. Too early, and it goes, "Oh, you did it wrong." Too late, and there's no sort of clue as to the time it is. You just have to fucking do it until you get it right.
That reminds me of Watch Dogs, where you could do like the crime interruption missions, but if you interrupted it like an instant before the game had officially declared it to be a crime, all the participants of the crime would just look at you and go, "Oh, you completely spoiled it now," and then they just all wander off together, victims and criminals alike.
Let's go get a tea and talk about that weirdo.
Yeah. I mean, it just completely killed the mood. There I was, about to stab you in the face.
I haven't played Watch Dogs.
I wouldn't recommend doing so.
That's generally the impression I've been getting.
It's basically just the Ubisoft sandbox game, for there is only one now, that they keep making.
There can be only one. Ubi?
Yes, we've done that one.
They're not doing well these days, are they?
That is a McDonald's logo.
Coming out? Yeah, it
is.
I didn't even notice that, because I was playing it windowed, so...
You know, I used to like Ubisoft, but they're officially in my shit books now. After all of 2014.
I know, it's been an impressive year for Oob.
Ubisoft. And they made Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. I love that game. They made Assassin's Creed 1 and 2, which I liked. Assassin's Creed 3 less so, but Assassin's Creed 4 was good again. But now Assassin's Creed's just, you know, it's like Madden. Just more of it every year.
There's me learning that the directions are universal to the car. So,
right.
just gone, whoop, taken the wrong way.
Way. So as I was saying, that is a McDonald's logo, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you think they got like an official licensing deal?
I doubt it, as I think if you look at it, he just describes it as a fast food joint.
Well, Space Quest 5 got official licensing from like a US telecommunications company.
Which one?
Sprint.
Huh.
It was referenced constantly in like the communication system in the game. That was the joke.
Fascinating.
I
haven't played the Space Quest in a while.
What's that blue thing on the map that you're coming towards?
A puddle.
It didn't even appear on there.
No.
I call bullshit. I think that's just his executive toy. That's not actually what's going on.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of
Did you
fun.
ever have one of those little toys where you'd have just like a top-down view of a map and little cars would move around if you pulled knobs?
Yeah.
It
was back before kids could have like fucking iPads and shit.
Did you actually, or are you just humouring me?
No.
Okay. Way!
Excitement!
Something's happening, or rather, something happened.
I like how he crashed into a mural.
And now we're gonna pick up the pieces. Hey, it's Wayne.
Excuse me!
Hey, it's Wayne Campbell.
Cindy's Donuts.
See, these guys know how to be good citizens. Cop comes up and goes, "Excuse me."
Oh, jeez.
Or to quote the League of Gentlemen, "Excuse me."
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
I love that. Just look at Sonny's face.
He's a serious cop with a serious hairdo.
Looks like one of those kids who doesn't have downs but has like one of the other ones.
He's got that 80s hair like what Justin Bieber had, where it looks like he's got a Cornish pasty on his head.
The helmet.
Yes, the helmet, quite. Blah-de, 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 blah.
I'm gonna completely imagine that is Wayne. It's going into my Police Quest head canon now.
Yeah, it was totally a Mercedes. Nah!
I'm gonna hit you in the stomach with a truncheon. Shouldn't we shoo these people away or get an ambulance or something?
You know, I was rewatching some clips of the first Wayne's World movie the other day and just thought to myself, you know what? This is shit.
Which clips? I don't know. I still enjoy the movies. I like Wayne's World 1 and 2.
Maybe it's just because Michael Myers is the serial killer. Mike Myers sort of blotted his copybook later on, but he just kind of comes across as obnoxious now in everything he does. To me.
Apparently he is kind of a bit of a jerk. Like, I read things about him sort of writing Dana Carvey's parts smaller and smaller and trying to, like, hog as much limelight as possible.
Well, that's Saturday Night Live people for you, isn't it?
Yeah. Apparently that is quite competitive, so I can sort of understand. But, I mean, he at least had the good taste to disappear forever after doing Love Guru. I mean, the same can't be said for, like, Adam Sandler. He just keeps going. Whereas, you know... Mike Myers made Love Guru. Everyone said this is shit, and he went, and went away.
Well, yeah, I guess he was. Oh, whoa!
Dun dun dun!
I weren't ready for no snuff porn, Police Quest.
Dun.
A head injury. Oh, Sonny Bonds getting his Raymond Chandler on for a second there. Death. No matter how many times you see it, you never get used to it.
We'll need a meat wagon for all the meat.
The sun was going down like a $10 whore. And I was ready to patrol the city for another 12 hours.
Yeah, and then you gotta radio into the Sarge.
Ah! Fat cop! Wonky eyes. His Cornish pasty hair is smaller than your Cornish pasty hair.
I'm Sergeant Wonky Tubberguts.
Well, I finished my tequila sunrise.
Go have another one.
And we've still got
shitloads
of time to go.
Yeah, we're not even like... You finished your tequila sunrise rather swiftly, like, just by itself. Like, even if this wasn't a 3-hour video, that was still reasonably quick.
For some reason, I'm reading that to the tune of My Sharona. Huh. Oh, Sierra.
Interesting, because I read it to the tune of something else.
Was it Oh, Susanna?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go, yes. Oh, Sierra, oh, don't you cry for me. Oh, I come from Alabama with a shit game on my knee. So, yes, this certainly benefits from the mouse interface rather than the text parser. But, you know, when they did the VGA remake of Leisure Suit Larry 1, there's a bit where you have to type in a password that you read on a bathroom wall, if you'll recall.
Yes, I do.
And obviously they couldn't do that with mouse interface, so they just gave you an inventory item that was a password. Just some words floating there.
Just disembodied. That wasn't the only pile of disembodied language you got as an item in the Leisure Suit Larry games, actually. Showed up again in Shape Up or Ship Out. You had, like, I think it was like the secret to the universe, and you had to whisper it into the final girl's ear in order to bone her.
That's rather Douglas Adams-y sort of joke.
It was a little bit. I quite liked 6. I think, like,
I like 6 too. I like 6 all the time. I like 6 on the beach. I like 6 in the shower. I'm turning into a New Zealander for some reason.
A thick New Zealand accent's adorable. It's just...
I like to have 6 on my fish and chips. That's sick. That's a bit South African as well, isn't it?
It is, like, they're weirdly similar. Other people talk different, and
I'm
that's funny.
South African and I have 6. I have 6 all the time, China.
Clever prawn.
So who's been murdered at Caffeine Carol's?
Nobody, I'm just sitting down on my fat cop ass.
Is it Steve? Has Steve been murdered?
No, unfortunately not. I just had to talk to Steve.
Steve's one of those names that's so mundane it's inherently funny. Like, it's the one Eddie Izzard keeps pulling out when he's improvising in his routines. It's either Steve or Jeff.
They're good mundane ones. Dwayne is one that's not mundane, and I rarely hear
Dwayne
it.
just sounds stupid.
Yeah, I know. The thing is, I've met Dwayne's.
Yeah.
And every time that kind of... each one, like, I think the 4 of them that I've known have been really just unfortunate creatures.
That guy at the booth just contemplating his life there. Staring into the middle distance.
Not a lot to contemplate.
As he drinks humorlessly.
Oh, God.
You know, it really makes me think how much has changed.
Steve's an okay-looking guy.
In this new age of smartphones. Because that guy would be checking his smartphone as he was drinking his coffee.
Yeah, he'd actually have something to do as opposed to just sit there staring blankly, like...
Oh, it's the mum from Pleasantville. I'm going to find a comparison for every fucking character in this game.
Good. Do it. I want you to. Good.
Oh my god, it's R. Lee Ermey in his younger days.
It does look a bit like him.
So you just got to go with your first instinct with these things. Look at that hate in his face. He knows you'd fuck a guy in the ass and not give him a reach around.
Not even have the common courtesy.
Yes, that was the full quote. Thank you, I wasn't sure.
Fucking Sonny's eyes trying to focus on the chromosome he's missing.
I haven't got anything for Sonny because he is the blandest human being in the universe. I'm not convinced he's not just some kind of wooden cutout that's been put in a shirt.
He's actually a ventriloquist's mummy that had a wish granted.
A ventriloquist's mummy?
Dummy.
You said mummy.
I know. I meant dummy. A ventriloquist's mummy.
A ventriloquist's mummy who very much disapproves of the ventriloquist's career.
Wouldn't you just?
Well, quite, yes. Couldn't you play piano in a whorehouse like your brother?
Couldn't you do anything? Fucking mime, come on.
That's bizarre, Sonny.
That's bizarre.
That's bizarre that someone was shot in the head.
In our crime-riddled town of New Whiteton.
You know, I'm suddenly suspicious of Steve.
He should be, he's evil.
Because someone's been shot and he said, "No way! Someone was shot? My goodness, I knew nothing about that."
I was here the whole time, wasn't that Carol? Say that or I'll kill you.
Yes, wasn't I Carol who's suddenly got 2 black eyes? Yeah, he's got the cold, dead sneer of a killer.
It's a sloping brain pan.
He just wants to transfer to Ferguson, Missouri. Ooh, topical. That'll date the video.
This is the only safe place for him, where he can be free with his own kind, and not near the blacks.
I know what it is. That guy in the booth has got drugs down his trousers. And he's just noticed 2 cops walk in, and he's fucking frozen solid.
They're seeping into his legs as we speak.
Look how...
sweating them in.
Yes. His face is red. He's sweating. A strong smell of urine is drifting over.
It is an uncomfortably tense time being around law enforcement if you've been near drugs in the last 24 hours.
Especially if they got dogs. I'm not following this plot at all.
Well, there's not like... Basically, there's crime, you're after a drug lord called the Death Angel, and you're sort of piecing together bits. I mean, that's a big problem with, I think, this and some of the later games, too, is they lack drive. Like, there's just sort of, you have to it's like when you're driving around, you have to just drive around if something happens. It's like, that's...
Well, this seems to be the pattern for the Sierra games we've done on this channel, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're just not really moving forward at any point.
Lack of goal is a real fucking frustrating thing in adventure games.
You just said, how's your girl fried?
She's doing karate.
They didn't have
to make 1-900 numbers, because those were a thing.
They didn't have anyone come in and proofread this, I can
Got my
tell.
Computer. What do I need with women when I have a computer?
Oh, for God's sake. See, this is how they're reaching the audience's level.
Yeah, we know you're on a computer right now and don't have a girlfriend, so here's a joke you'll understand.
Hey, isn't this the series where we end up marrying a whore?
I think so, yeah.
Or perhaps we shouldn't be judgmental. Whores are people too. They're just people who have sex for money.
Yeah, it's back before phones, so you had to get calls at payphones, at cafes.
So we just had to hang around here drinking coffee and eating donuts, waiting for someone to call in.
Pretty much.
If only they'd invented some kind of radio-like device that we could place in some kind of vehicle.
Something that would use space jiggles to communicate words between long distances.
There's something weirdly smug about some of these descriptive texts.
There's a lot of that.
This is just the smug thoughts that Sonny Bonds has been percolating in his head for the last 20 years in this go-nowhere town.
My facial features are not properly defined. I have a cleft skull.
He's just going through the motions at this point, isn't he?
They should have slowly built to like him having some kind of Tyler Durden grade snap.
Yeah, that's what Steve is.
Like Police Quest.
Angry-looking Steve. Yeah. Who also kind of looks like...
Steve. Looks like you want to look, fucks how you want to fuck.
He does kind of look like the guy who was your alternate self in Manhunt 2. But there was like very small number of countries where that game was allowed to be released.
It wasn't that good.
No, it wasn't.
Manhunt was fun until the guns got involved.
Yeah.
Then it just became another game.
There's this attitude that you always have to be sort of ramping the gameplay up all the way through.
Yeah.
Yes, we get the joke now. And Sonny Bonds stared into space for a short while, contemplating the pit that was his life, wondering if he had the strength to see through another afternoon.
The coffee doesn't fill the hole.
Or if he'd just twist his steering wheel to the side and plow into a concrete barrier.
You can't do that in this game no matter how hard you try.
Shit!
You could in 3, like if you overshot like a corner, you just go, whoop, you're dead.
You could crash the shit out of your car in the AGI version.
Yeah. You can. I think you can get in trouble for like blowing stop signs, and that almost happened a couple of times. But I remembered to hit my siren right before.
I've got in trouble for blowing stop signs before. Turned out it was an undercover policewoman. Oh wait, you said stop sign.
Big. You just like him with a big red face and a chrome body. More pole to work.
We are the only people who own a car.
Yeah, the only car in the entire town. Oh, and like 3 kind of jerks.
Oh, hey, we're cooking now.
Yeah, this is another section of drive around until the event happens.
Is this one of those Sierra games where you could adjust the speed with a slider?
No, that's the accelerator that I got my thing on right now. And to the left of it's
no, I'm just asking. Because you could in like the Space Quest 1 remake.
Oh, you mean like the speed of the game?
Yeah, you could zip around like nobody's business.
I don't know, I didn't see anything in this, but I didn't really look for it, to be honest. So, here's me just exploring until we interact with the next event that's got to occur.
Awesome.
Yeah. Is there any way to skip this? No, you're gonna do it.
Oh, great. Now I have to come up with a different witticism every time. Your speedo and fuel meter look very surprised. Because it's like 2 big eyes with a little mouth underneath. Well, help me out here. This is your fucking video, you asshole.
Hey, you said you were gonna do something, so I let you. That's all.
All right. Well.
Well, look here. A thing's about to happen. Zoom!
My goodness. An incredible honey blonde as well.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
This is where we learn how desperately lonely Sonny is.
Jerk off, Sonny Bonds.
Yeah, he just needs to go pick up one of the street girls to let him rattle one off.
Well, I think you're being very dismissive of the lady there, Sonny Bonds. Describing her as part of the landscape. And now she offers us a blowy. Yes, I do remember this from the AGI version as well.
Pretty much. I don't fall for that.
Of course not.
The hammer of justice is unisex.
I would have said asexual. That would have made more sense.
It's a line from Batman Brave and the Bold. Yeah, so you can't click outside the car door in order to get out, you just have to click on the door.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
Dispatch!
Yep, gotta call it in.
Dispatch, I need my helmet.
Yep. It's all following the rules now, aren't we?
Yeah. I can't talk to her until I look at her, which...
You know, Leisure Suit Larry 3 did that as well.
Just fucking weird.
Just Jesus Christ. Oh, Sonny Bonds, jerk off before you
look at there we look.
Jesus Christ! You look like Noddy Holder.
It's like 2-minute noodles poking out of a garbage bag.
It's more of that fucking semicircular toilet mat hairdos, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, she's wearing a welcome mat draped across her shoulders.
Tawny doesn't laugh.
Tawny, that was the name of the chick in the first chick you bang in Leisure Suit Larry 1, who you have to look in the eye before you can talk to her.
I'm sensing we've almost solved a mystery here.
My goodness me. Well, now we know how disease-riddled this lady is.
Shakily
That's not how you spell shakily.
I'm a ginormous puss bag. I'm giving you a ticket, lady. I don't care.
Somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, you could have, like, hit a kid.
A strange transformation comes over Tawny. Suddenly, she starts singing hits from Slade.
She goes, "Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal."
She is really bad at swearing.
She is furious in everything but facial expressions. Shove it, pig.
You can't fracture Sonny Bonds' armor. He has no soul. It's Maniac Cop, not Lunatic Cop.
Maniac Cop.
It was
and shitty 80s.
film starring lovely Bruce Campbell and Robert Z'Dar.
I forgot Bruce Campbell was in that, actually.
Yep, died in the sequel. In the first 20 minutes, because that's what you do in horror movie sequels. That's how you show the stakes have raised. Meanwhile, Sonny Bonds still hasn't raised his stake. Meaning his cock.
Yeah, I just managed to ticket myself out of some fun there. But damn it. Justice.
Professionalism. Yes.
She wasn't even that pretty.
This isn't Leisure Suit Larry 1.
No.
There's no benefits for sex.
No, there is not. This is a quest. A police quest.
Yes.
And now we gotta drive around until something else happens again.
So, as some may know, the Police Quest series was quite a long-running one. And it actually transformed into something else to continue its existence, making it rather unique among Sierra Adventure franchises. It turned into the SWAT series, didn't it? It became... At first it was Police Quest SWAT, and then they quietly dropped Police Quest from the billing.
Which was sad.
Most recent game was SWAT 4, I think I'm right in saying? Which was
I think so,
still a rigid adherence to police procedure, but now it was like a full 3D action game, where you had to storm into buildings and taser old ladies.
Yeah, I played the...
He's still there.
He never leaves.
Still hasn't wanked that marijuana out. He's just pacing himself for his next attempt in the bathroom. He got the instructions wrong when he was asked to do the drug muling.
Apparently there was an attempt to revitalize the series under the name Precinct in 2013 on Kickstarter.
Huh. Did it work?
No.
See, that's the thing about Kickstarter. I mean, it's a great success story when it does work, but when it fails, it somehow orders more pathetic.
It really does.
Nobody cared. Not even the hardcore fans cared.
I don't know how many hardcore fans this fucking game can honestly have.
Well, it was 90s PC games. Of course it's got its hardcore fans.
Someone's already yelling at me on the YouTube comments. I can hear him typing.
Yep.
I'll have you know. Yeah, so I went to Carol's because that's where the next thing's happening. Because I went there before the next fucking random event's triggered, though, nothing's happening. So now I just gotta drive around until the thing happens.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So, what games have you been playing lately, Gabriel? Let's go back to podcasting for a few minutes.
The thing I most recently bought and started playing was The Cat Lady.
I know of it, yes. It was made in Adventure Game Studio, I believe.
Rather interesting game. I thought it was going to be really kind of stupid and boring at the start, but then it kind of developed into an actual, like, there was a goal and some stuff to do. Like, I haven't finished it yet or anything, but...
It's sort of a horror-y thing, isn't it?
Kind of a, you know, a sort of miserable human existence simulator.
Fun. Well, that's my favourite kind of horror game.
Yeah, it's you know, I think it's...
Can't stand the jump scary shit.
Reasonably well done. Some interesting ideas. Just, you know, I think it was like $2.50 or something when I bought it, so, hey.
Well, yesterday I started playing Crypt of the Necrodancer. Which is exactly my kind of thing, because it's a roguelite.
There's me
I like stuff like
the wrong turn again.
Stuff like Rogue Legacy, Binding of Isaac, FTL, that kind of thing. So it's a dungeon crawlery thing, procedurally generated, but it's also a rhythm game. And as you recall, I'm a big old Guitar Hero expert.
Yes, you can play the Dragon Force and everything.
Well, I can finish Through the Fire and the Flames on hard. Could never do it on expert.
Dude, hard's fucking hard. Like, that's not a...
It's not a patch on expert. I can get through most Guitar Hero songs on expert. There's always the last couple of ones in each game that always give me trouble.
I was hard-pressed just doing them on hard.
But yeah, Crypt of the Necrodancer is very fun, deceptively simple. There's only 4 controls, up, left, right, down. But deceptively deep for it. And I've been getting quite addicted. And it's got really good music as well, as you might expect from a rhythm game.
How much is it?
Well, it's early access at the moment.
Right.
In beta, I believe. Oh, it's time for biker fun.
Beta. Yeah, this is where it gets, like, in my mind, TV-ish, because it's sort of... What you do, I don't think is, like, technically legal.
Okay. Do you beat them up with your big stick?
Yeah, and they kind of force a confrontation, but, like, okay, the bikes are just parked there, right? And there's a bar out back, so I go and talk to... Yeah, I go and fondle Carol.
Almost did Tobey Maguire's mum there.
And then, like, okay, so here's what the bikers have done. They exist.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's... The bikes are, they're legally parked.
Yeah,
like, so far the bikers have not done anything but exist, except be, like, that kind of vague... They're a menace to decent folk. You know, they're different.
Well, it's small-town America.
Yeah, this turns into a Queensland simulator in a moment, because...
You got to do what the sheriff did to Rambo at the start of First Blood.
Move them on.
Yeah. Just stay out of our town, because we don't like your sort.
We don't like you. So, yeah, so far some bikers have literally done nothing wrong, but I'm going to go shoot them away anyway.
Okay. Gonna have to fetch a bucket of cold water.
This is where we get the Queensland simulator part, because, you know, we can't have bikers in this town. We've got to eliminate them.
Maybe your parts of Queensland.
And then...
Is he wearing a business suit?
Yeah.
And he's tied his tie around his head?
His name's Business Suit McGee.
Oh my goodness, it's... Jesus.
Fat Jesus. It's Zach Galifianakis.
No, it's
in another
Fat
dimension.
The Dude from The Big Lebowski.
So he kind of threatens me, and then I just bust his knees with a truncheon.
Or it's Jake Conway from Right to Hell Retribution.
I've not played that. Don't really.
You should. It's really bad.
Isn't it just glitchy as fuck?
Well, that's one of the things on the checklist.
One of the problems. How long have you got?
But, you know, that's like complaining about the moist towelettes on the crashing aeroplane.
Yes,
this is that prostitute who's your friend.
I'll do some, I'll play that and I'll play Sonic Boom. That'll be my fun afternoon.
It looks a bit like someone threw a bucket of pig swill at Jennifer Connelly. It's the eyebrows.
Probably the most remotely attractive woman in the whole game, so...
Oh, well, we know what you like now.
Yeah.
We like women with hair like shit. Your hair is like a waterfall of turds.
Well, at least it doesn't look like pasta or noodles, like...
Steaming from the arsehole of a big, overfed pig.
Lady, your neck stump looks like an arsehole. I want you to know that.
Oh my god, you're up against Bane.
Bane.
Then, Sonny Bonds, you have my permission to die.
Operation Trick Trap. Yeah, take that, prostitutes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you're giving tip-offs to the local criminal element.
Well, we went to high school together, so...
Right.
It's kind of a sad example of the two paths that lives can take. One toward the gleaming whiteness of order and justice, and the other toward filthy dick-sucking.
Blowies. There's quite a lot of inferred sexual content in this game.
Yep, it stays inferred. I can't beat people, it's not fair.
See, if you're going to infer it... See, this is all... I mean, this may surprise you, but I've watched a lot of shitty Cinemax erotic thrillers in my time. And this is all giving me the vibe of one so far.
Well, it's trying to be, like, mature. Okay, now here's what I mean about, like, there's some specific things to do with this couple that just...
Can you whack him one with your nightstick?
No, but the fact that it has so many actual responses to trying that is interesting.
That's puke green.
Apparently.
Jesus, what have you been eating, Sierra Writer? Radioactive pea soup, perhaps? Oh, well, thanks for the information there.
Yeah, but like...
Is that an actual...
Because normally when you try to shoot them, it's just a bunch of default shit, but they're just... Personally disgusted as you may be by humans mating.
Jesus Christ.
Why don't they ever touch me? I'll kill you all, you sluts.
We literally are a droid, aren't we? We're a department store mannequin that learned how to live like a human.
And doesn't know it? Like, this is just unaware.
Yeah, the parents never had the courage to call him in for the big speech. So
Son, you're adopted.
You may have noticed that the other boys aren't as shiny as you.
You do glisten. You don't grow or develop in any way.
Have you noticed that everything you wear incredibly well?
You walk kind of funny because your knee joints don't entirely bend.
Ah, what did you do?
That was the first record error. Where it's just like, we're gonna stop recording.
What did you use for this? A shovel and a paintbrush?
It wasn't the record program. Police Quest just started glitching out really crazy after a while.
That's exactly the same walk, eye, and hand from Space Quest 4, by the way.
Slightly different face, though. Now we can talk to Carol and tell them that we moved on the people she didn't like, and that
And then she'll give us a blowy, because she's so grateful.
Yeah, you know, a little countertop job.
You know what
Gotta glaze them. Glaze the donut.
You know these greasy spoon Ritas are like?
Yeah, just yearn for a man's touch.
Do we have, like, a diaper fetish or something?
Yes. Amongst other things. He likes age play.
Rubber hose?
Likes to be spat on.
Rubber hose? What the fuck did you think we meant?
You bet.
Yeah, I had to rough them up with the roughing up enema. You need a hose and a handful of gravel.
Ow. Ow.
Bear Grylls' less successful survival technique.
Oh god, why did I do this? I heard a thing about, like, it's a pedophile treatment in jail, like, where they stick, like, a piece of electrical tubing up your butt, and then a bit of barbed wire up the tubing, and then they pull
take
the
the
tubing
tube out and then pull the barbed wire out. Yes, I've heard that one.
That gravel one sounds less pleasant, actually.
Really?
No,
really?
It doesn't. Well,
really? You just
like, the gravel would get up there real bad and rip you up slowly. Like, it'd be one of those long-term ones. You'd probably get infections and shit.
Oh, well.
I mean, if at least your ass is ripped out, you're in, like, the fucking, you know,
just shit it
section.
Out, genius.
Just... I don't want gravel in my bum.
This is what you've done. We're talking about gravel enemas now.
You started it.
Yeah, well, you had to bring up the barbed wire thing.
Barbed wire and gravel enemas.
Ooh, it's a horrible thought, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've been treated like a starter motor for a rowboat.
It makes my bum wince.
Well, motorboat, because if it was a rowboat, it wouldn't have a motor on it, would it?
Row, row, row your butt gently down a stream.
Well, something's streaming, certainly. Several things are streaming. My eyes, my bumhole. Oh,
there we go.
It happened again.
Here's the next thing that can occur. Oh, and here's the thing too. If you don't click your siren on the second you see them, you don't catch them. They just vanish. Yeah, because I had to reload this section because I turned to the corner before I turned the siren on. And it's just like, nope.
We're getting very good at just stumbling upon these things. Serendipitous, really.
Yeah, I pay bums to get in cars and cause trouble.
And we're outside a gun shop.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, is this like Detroit? This city? We got evil bikies.
Yeah.
We got guns and ammo shops with bars on the windows.
Slowly turning into Detroit.
This is like that city from Hobo with a Shotgun.
The Blacks. I liked that movie.
I liked it because Brian Downey was in it, who was Stanley Tweedle in Legs.
Because Rutger Hauer was in it.
Yes.
And also, I think Ricky and Julian from Trailer Park Boys.
I don't care. I don't know what any of those words mean.
It's a good show.
Okay. Hey, man, wearing a wife beater. Yeah, we officially live in the shittiest city in the world.
Yeah.
Queensland, in other words. It's the Gold Coast. That's where we are.
It's the Gold Coast.
Yeah, we're on the Gold Coast.
It's the beachless Gold Coast, so the Gold Coast without the one thing that redeems it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Or no Dream World either.
No, not even Dream World.
Shit.
Or Wet n Wild. No Sea World.
I've never done Wet n Wild. Oh. Oh my goodness. It's
Bud from Married with Children.
It's the whitest Latino gang member in the history of the world.
During his rap career. Yeah, everybody who I think is supposed to be ethnic in this is white. I'm not sure if that's, like, better or worse.
I think he's just a white-collar worker who's tied his tie around his head.
Yeah, it's just everybody. There's even the biker. There's actually just a costume party, like, somewhere nearby, and I'm going around arresting them.
Well, they didn't have breathalyzers this time of history?
Early 90s. When was the remake, actually? I'll check and see when the original was.
I don't care that much.
I'm kind of curious. Okay, well, the original was 1987.
We're gonna go now, Smart. Oh, a Maniac Cop reference.
Yeah.
How, again, serendipitous. Shoot the man! Shoot the man!
Not allowed. Just sprinkle some fucking crack on him and then we're done. That's just
I think this is all giving us an insight as Sonny Bonds as someone as a powder keg waiting to blow.
Yeah. Just... I don't want to do that because I'll get in trouble. The second I learn that I won't get in trouble, I'll just shoot people all the fucking time.
The second I'm living without consequence...
Which will be quickly.
He's gonna be the one steaming down the road with a bottle of tequila in one hand and the head of a prostitute in the other.
Yahoo! You can't cuff him in the front though, because he gets you when you're in the car. So you gotta cuff him in the back. That does look like the David Faustino during his rap career, which didn't last long.
I was getting more of a David Duchovny vibe. I thought he was wandering off there.
Yeah.
Car's over there, smart guy.
He will. He will vomit.
Okay.
I'll put a blanket over his head and beat him. I thought I might have to, like, impound the car or talk to the car or something.
Don't you have to call it in so someone will impound the car?
Nah, you just drive off. Fuck his car. Fuck him.
Okay, gonna leave the car in this dodgy neighborhood outside the barred-up gun shop.
Damn Anglo-Latinos ruining our community.
Yeah.
Anglatino.
Just because they listen...
Tangos.
They listen to a single J-Lo record.
That's how it happens.
Yeah.
That's how it happens.
Infects the mind.
Fucking... in the 80s
up.
it was Menudo.
Thank you.
Yeah, see? Zoom, 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 zoom. So much of the fucking time filler of this game is just the driving sequences.
Here's a complex question. What's Prince's ethnicity?
I want to say African American?
I don't think I know. I mean, he's not...
He could be one of those, like, really interesting mixes.
Mulatto. In-betweeny.
Tweeners.
2 drops of milk in the coffee.
It's like the really pretty girl in the flowered dress from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She's, like, Irish and Ethiopian.
I don't watch that. Irish Ethiopian?
Yeah.
Is she a character in a Hideo Kojima game?
Could very well be.
Always a mix of something.
Yeah. Mixing's good, it's healthy for us. I'm like just 18 kinds of white and I have like weird allergies and shit. If I have like another white kid, it's just gonna be like a head with asthma.
A number of characters in like Japanese stuff who are half American, half Japanese.
So they appeal to both audiences.
Of course, yes. That's how it works.
Me finding the jail. I think this is where it does that thing where it just decides not to take the corner I ask it to, which... Because you see how it's like flashing and that's me going forward, and you click on the right, left and right arrow and it flashes and that'll just change. Just by itself sometimes it'll just fucking change. And then I have to do a loop of the goddamn block.
Okay. So they'd let you drive yourself like GTA 1.
It's kind of, yeah, like that's the thing, like this is sort of an arcade sequence, but not. Like just with the, you know, any possible real kind of...
Just at a map screen. Point to where you want to go and click, and the car goes...
This is me, oh no, this is me clicking the wrong...
There's the perfectly square park. It's called Square Park.
Yeah, so I've clicked right, so I'm like, okay, I'll turn into the...
Yep, but that's not how you turn into it, is it?
I actually do this time.
Okay.
Okay. Now there is one time where I click it and it just goes boop to forward, and I just zoom past and left there like a chump.
Aren't you supposed to manhandle him out of the car?
I don't know. I don't think you're not. I've tried to. Believe me. You just ask them to do things and they go along quite nicely.
He looks a little bit like Jon Stewart.
Oh yeah. Have you ever seen young Jon Stewart? Like back when he had like one of his earlier fucking like it is early 90s as fuck.
I remember hearing about a role that he played that really surprised me that it was him.
He did.
Help me out here. Who did he play?
Oh, I got no idea.
What was he in?
I know he did some acting. No, he had his own show like earlier, like quite early, where he'd sit cross-legged while he was interviewing people, and it was just he wore a jacket, and it was just terrible.
Sounds a bit left-wing to me.
Jon Stewart movies.
I just keep thinking in my head John Stuart Mill, the philosopher.
And then I get the Bruce's Philosopher's song stuck in my head.
John Stuart Mill, of his own free will, on half a criticide was particularly ill.
Plato, they say, could stick it away.
Half a crate of whiskey every day. Aristotle was a bugger for the bottle. Hobbes was fond of his dram. And Rene Descartes was a drunken fart. I drank, therefore I am.
There's nothing Nietzsche couldn't teach you.
No, that was the first verse.
That's what I was doing.
Second verse, that bit goes, Socrates himself is particularly missed. Let a little think about a bugger when he's pissed.
Yeah.
Should we just go back and do the first verse?
Nah, it's gone now.
Manuel Kant was a real piss and... Okay, he didn't come with me on that.
No. Alright, I can't find the movie. He was in The Faculty. I forgot about that.
That was it. That was the one.
Here's some more...
I watched The Faculty, but I didn't know he was in that.
Here's some more copy protection, because all the codes of what people have done are in there. Which I think's probably one of the more interesting kind of parts of the game, because you have to... It doesn't tell you what they did. You have to have observed and then sort of applied it to, you know, okay, what did he do? Well, he drove drunk. Okay, what's driving drunk? All right, and then you gotta... So there's some actual fucking reasonable brain work, and it's like the least used part of the game.
Well, it's not that interesting, is it?
Yeah, and that's fucking saying something, but nonetheless, it's, to me, at least, it involved some sort of, you know, thought and interpretation.
Do you have to manhandle him?
No, you have to talk to him. There's so many times where you think you gotta, like, just click use or operate and...
Oh, but look, he's learned his lesson.
He feels so bad.
I'm a very bad
Here's your
boy.
keys, off you go. Just go drive around. Maybe you can drive into the woman in the red car and crash.
I'm showy. I just felt weird today because I put on my exercise pants and then left the house.
I had to put on my exercise pants. I was ready to go for a jog, and then I drank like just 3 bottles of whiskey instead. I thought I'd go for a drive to nowhere.
Very trusting policeman, that. Just take off his cuffs and let him walk by himself into the cell.
Yeah. I've never been arrested, but I don't think that's how it works.
It wouldn't have been smart to run, but he's fucking bombed out his skull. I would take him to a hospital, put on the saline drip.
Really?
That's what happened to me when I was found in a gutter.
Oh, was that when you were in America?
No, that was a different time when I got completely bombed out of my skull.
Huh. When was this time?
The time in America, I actually made it back to my hotel room.
Oh, yeah, there we go. That was after the Webby Awards or something, wasn't it?
It was before the Webby Awards. I almost missed the Webby Awards.
That's right. You were fucking hungover at the Webbies.
Yes.
That's funny. That's a great story. Okay, so what was this other time? Why were you in a gutter?
It's no fun going to New York and seeing the Webby Awards if you don't get a drinking story out of it.
Yeah.
Well, the first time was actually when I was a lot younger and was fairly new to Australia, and I'd made a bunch of new Australian friends, and they kept refilling my glass one evening. And I was still sort of unused to drinking.
Yeah.
So I just drank more than was probably smart. I didn't feel that drunk.
No, it fucking sneaks up on you when you're young, man.
But then I left the bar, and the next thing I knew, I woke up in hospital.
I was 17 and drinking a combination of vodka and Pashito, which is lethal because you can't taste the fucking vodka.
Pashito is an Australian passion fruit drink.
Yeah, and it just covers vodka almost entirely.
I had a passion fruit Slurpee last night.
Yeah. And the last thing I remember is drinking. Then I woke up in my underwear with a blanket over me, just in the lounge room floor of the place I was at. And about 15 minutes later, I realized I was on a rollerblade.
Well, at least you made it back to the place you were at.
We hadn't left the house.
Oh, right.
I passed out before everybody else left. And then, apparently I vomited everywhere and had to get dragged into a shower.
So that's why it's no fun
bread.
just to get drunk at your house. You just puke on something you own, and then pass out in a place you recognise.
After that, I went back to the pot.
I'm just waiting for that character called Baines to come back so I can do more of that Bane impression.
You should do more Latino Bane, actual Mexican wrestler Bane.
I think Bane is enough of a fucking clusterfuck of accents. I don't want to try to stick Latino in there as well.
Well, he's in, more traditional Batman canon. He's
sort of somewhere between Sean Connery and Gypsy King, I think, was the intention.
It is fascinating. You do get some fascinating mixes. I'm sure there's someone out there, like a Latino Scotsman.
Yeah. I
Just
talked
the
about
one.
mulattoes earlier.
Yeah. I love odd mixes, man. I love odd cultural mixes. National Geographic had this thing of people who were, crazy multiracial. People who's, they had a bit of everything in them. And there was one guy who was, part Jewish, part Inuit, and referred to himself as a Juice-Camo.
Right.
It was fucking funny.
Well, anyways, since we're back on the road, I'll finish what I was saying earlier. I do recommend Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Oh, yeah.
But it is early access, and it's $14.99. I'm not sure, and that might be a bit much for what it is. Maybe, unless you got money to burn, wait for it to come off beta.
Mm-hmm. Is there it seems to me that the early access ones can be quite expensive. Is that a set thing? I'm curious about that. You might know a bit more than I do.
I'm not sure. Well, if you buy early access, then you also get the game once it's done.
Oh.
So you're paying for the promise, I suppose.
Duh, Gabe,
but there's a rule at Steam now, I think, that if you're early access, you have to be mostly done. Or basically done.
Yeah.
Before you can be released early access. And
are there any famous examples of why that rule is in effect?
Oh, there was a couple of shitty games.
Okay, here we go.
Jim Sterling had it
and then it just changed.
Oh yeah, I noticed.
Yeah, I didn't click that, and now I'm just oh, you're going the other way. Why? Now I have to do a lap.
Because...
because fuck you.
Because you're in a really weird car. Your car has a mind of its own, it's actually your mother. Will come back to life as a car.
This is a mixture of Knight Rider and My Mother the Car.
Like in the documentary, My Mother the Car.
About whether or not I should try and get through it, on brain alone.
You didn't know what you're supposed to be doing, right?
No. There's a lot of early 90s avalanche of hair women in this.
That woman's head was the size of an orange. It was like the Goombas from Super Mario Brothers, the movie.
The early 90s were a strange time, man. Strange fucking time. And this is me okay, click, click. Where's the invisible door?
So, do we know anything about the plot at this point?
No. And I think, if memory serves, this one came with a big booklet.
I know this is the VGA remake of the original AGI. Sierra went through a phase of remaking all their really old, shitty-looking AGI adventure games. They remade Space Quest 1, King's Quest 1. They remade King's Quest 1 in SCI before they came up with VGA. That was jumping the gun a bit.
So now there's just two kind of awful King's Quests.
Actually, they didn't end up remaking King's Quest 1 in VGA, although some fans did. And were Sierra grateful? Were they bollocks?
Really?
Well, they weren't over the moon about it.
Huh. I thought they'd have been at least moderately supportive of that kind of shenanigans. Terrifying skeleton man and bone jangle away.
So I've played the first Police Quest, the AGI version, but I don't think I ever finished it. There are sort of... I hesitate to use the word instructional. A sort of extremely realistic depiction of police work. Would that be fair to say?
I'd go maybe extremely realistic by kind of an early 90s police procedural. So we're not like hunting down demons. There's not like solve this problem with a rubber duck. But I'd not call it what you like sort of dead on real. Like there's definitely sort of like TV shit to this.
Right. Well, that TV shit can go a lot of ways, can't it? I mean, TV shit encompasses Baywatch Nights.
Oh, Baywatch Nights.
And Quantum Leap.
Masterpieces of TV sci-fi.
Man, you're a slow reader.
I didn't realize I had to push enter. So
okay.
I like, encroachment of a few undesirable elements. Blacks.
Blah, blah, blah. Here's some backstory on this city we're in. Doesn't matter. Might as well have just been New York. Hello, it's us.
Hello, it's us.
And we're in it for the long haul again.
Oh, yeah.
Gabriel loves his 3-hour videos.
We're looking through the eye of a pig. Yahtzee has a tequila sunrise. We're in a weirdly Cypress Hill themed Let's Play today.
Well, I had some tequila left over, and some orange juice, and some grenadine. I thought, the stars have aligned today.
In pursuit of the Death Angel.
So, tell us about this game we're playing, because you have a bit of an advantage on me for once, because I haven't really played Police Quest much.
Not many people have, and because I never played King's Quest really growing up. Like, I kind of backseat played them a bit with my cousin, which is how I got through a lot of sort of the early adventure games, because we didn't have a PC that would run them. But my aunt gave me, like, the discs, like the old fucking, 3 1/4s for the VGA Police Quest one, which is this one.
Yes, this is the remake of the original AGI version. Where we're a member of the Mullet Squad.
Oh my god!
But
the mullet assassin.
Cunningly, that mullet turned into a skull to disguise himself when he saw we were looking at him.
It's Mullet's natural defense. It's just a turn into a terror. The city of Lytton. Well, it's small towny, and one of the kind of running themes throughout the game is, oh, what's happening to our small town?
Oh, okay.
It's in the grip of drugs and vice.
So it can be Durham, North Carolina or something. I know it's California, isn't it?
What? Okay, what police procedural is that you're talking about?
What?
Which show is that a reference to? Like,
no,
what was said in Durham?
That was just the first smaller city I could think of.
Oh.
Because it's one where the escapist's based.
Ah, okay. I thought it might have been a reference to an actual show that was set there. What's your favorite police procedural?
Does Columbo count?
Fuck it, today it does.
Hey, did you try to fondle a man?
Yeah, I kind of enjoy this game because there's a lot of...
You got a muffin top.
Yeah.
You're a fat boy.
There's a lot of kind of default, like, that doesn't do anything responses to shit.
Well, yes.
But,
it is technically an adventure game.
Yeah, there are a few weirdly specific ones, which, like, there's one a little later on you get to see that is kind of odd, and I think presents kind of a running under-theme to the game of emotional withdrawal and probably borderline autism.
It's a curious isometric perspective we're adopting here.
Yeah, and it does this thing where the boundaries of the box are also other locations, but it doesn't telegraph that in any way, and not all of it is like a way of clicking through it, so...
This says to me, we couldn't be bothered drawing an entire screen-filling background for this one room.
Yeah.
So let's border it with the exterior, and pretend that was some kind of thing they're doing.
Hello, Lieutenant.
Oh, it's Timothy Dalton. What's he doing here?
Yeah, reminding me not to fiddle with his stuff. Yeah, says, I'll poke around.
Well, don't just stand there staring at them either. Alright, catch you later.
Walk in, stare at his drawers, stare a little bit longer, leave.
No, that's a model employee, that is. No questions, just straight to it.
Direct to business.
Crime time? But surely it's past crime time.
It's a quarter to justice.
Surely it's moving up towards Miller time now. Or possibly Father Time.
So this is just me kind of poking about at the beginning. I was having this, like, argument with myself